A WWE star is gone from the company. We're going to talk about it right here on The Angle Show. Yeah, so this one's a very interesting one, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about this because this is actually more so of an observation that I've made with WWE. But if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is a WWE superstar who has everybody talking on social media because of the fact that she has changed her social media bios and her handle names, her usernames. And we're talking about Lacey Evans. It appears that Lacey Evans has gone from the WWE, and we don't know why, we don't know how, but we do know that she is no longer going by the name of Lacey Evans. Now, about a day ago, she posted a meme that basically suggested that she was waiting for her contract to expire because she posted a meme that said how many days left. Now, initially, when I saw this meme, I was just thinking, okay, maybe, the potential possibility of her leaving is one thing. But the second thing is really more so maybe they're jumping into a new storyline, right? Especially when considering that, last night was Raw, tonight's NXT, maybe they were doing something with her, moving her, whatever it may be. This obviously had a lot of people speculating. Now, 24 hours later, she changed her social media names from Lacey Evans to Limitless Macy. For those who don't know, Lacey Evans' real name is Macy. So obviously it would make sense that she's going with that. And then she came out and revealed that her name going forward will be Macy Estrella, which is interesting. It's interesting that she's made this choice. Now, in the last 12 months, we haven't seen WWE announce releases. We haven't seen WWE announce contracts expiring or anything like that. In fact, WWE has been very tight-lipped when it comes to a talent no longer being with the company. It's not being revealed by WWE, in which case how Lacey Evans is leaving the company. But I'm going to assume, based on what we're seeing with her social media activity, more than likely her contract wasn't renewed with the company. Now, obviously, wrestling fans are going to dive in and they're going to probably overanalyze this situation. They might think, hey, maybe WWE didn't want her, right? And I can understand why some people would assume that, largely due to the fact that WWE has had a couple rough patches when trying to book Lacey Evans. I mean, if you think about it, she's been in the company since 2016, 2017. We saw her in NXT. Then she went up to the main roster. I want to say she came up to the main roster 2019 or 2020. They really didn't do much with her. They tried to, and the thing is, it's kind of hard for me to blame booking because at the same time, I don't think booking ever did her any favors. I think the whole thing that they did with her and Ric Flair and Charlotte obviously did her no favors. But also at the same time too, it's hard to blame booking, and sometimes it's easy to blame booking, right? Now, in the case of Lacey Evans, I don't feel like the booking did her any favors. Obviously, I just said that, but I don't know if she did herself any favors as well, because some of the stuff that was being talked about with Lacey Evans on social media and the way that she was using it with some of her opinions and things that, people would deem controversial. Now, the reason why I'm putting this out there is because we don't know if she's been released by the WWE. We don't know if she's not extended her contract. But I would also like to say, if you are one of those people assuming that WWE didn't want her, I can probably understand if Lacey Evans didn't want to be in WWE any longer. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we have to acknowledge the fact that WWE is not the end-all be-all in wrestling, right? We have AEW, we have Impact, we have Stardom, we have a very hot independent wrestling scene. You could be making a good amount of money outside of WWE. And if she's not feeling creatively fulfilled, if there was some sort of issue, right? And again, we're just making assumptions, which we're just covering all bases. But if she wasn't happy in WWE, while some of you might blame booking or whatever it may be, maybe you guys might be judging her on her personal skills. I think it's also very easy to say, hey, she doesn't necessarily need the WWE. And I think it could be either way, but maybe there's an opportunity to say Lacey Evans didn't want to be in WWE. Or there's the chance that I say, hey, WWE didn't want her. And here's the thing, right? Lacey Evans was talented. She was good. Maybe she was dealt a bad hand, but in reality, I don't think she was a bad wrestler. I don't think she was a bad character. I just think it didn't work out. And if you're Lacey Evans and you want to compete in the wrestling industry outside of WWE, again, she can go anywhere and make good money. And if I'm Impact Wrestling, which, by the way, Impact has a very good knockouts division. I talk about this quite often. If I am Impact Wrestling, I'm looking at bringing in Lacey Evans. And to be honest with you, I think AEW can utilize some help with the women's division. I wouldn't be shocked if Lacey Evans were to find herself in AEW. I want to put this out there, though. We don't know if she hasn't re-signed. We don't know if WWE released her, but it sounds like more than likely we can assume that she's not staying with the company, and it could be either her decision or WWE's decision. Let's get through that, though. Let's get past that part. When I look at WWE not announcing releases or not announcing contract expirations, this one is a little bit more intriguing than normal because there's no dirt sheets coming out with any sort of information in regards to Lacey Evans at this time. Nobody has reported any sort of bad blood between them backstage. Nobody's reported any sort of drama. For all we know, this could have been a very cordial, very mutual decision, or it could be something completely opposite. But of course, we're not going to sit here and make up scenarios for the sake of views. We don't know what happened backstage. But it is intriguing to me to see this is probably the first name since Triple H has taken over, right? This new regime. We're going into the Endeavor era. This is the first name that we know about that's departing the company, potentially due to a contract dispute or a contract negotiation or whatever it may be. We haven't seen people get released. WWE wasn't doing this massive layoff or massive cuts. You have to wonder what is happening here. And I think WWE's in a very interesting situation because anytime they were doing roster releases and these roster cuts, we would see 15, 20 of them get cut. It was a really big blow to WWE, right? From a PR standpoint, it just looked like this company was just cutting people, random people, whatever it may be. And that's why I think it's so safe and easy for me to assume that maybe Lacey Evans' situation with WWE may not even be dramatic, right? It just might be time to move on and that's it. And obviously we don't know. Maybe Lacey Evans wants to just leave and do her thing. I would love to have conversations with wrestlers and I've had conversations backstage with people and I've been very open about this with some of the wrestlers I've met and things like that. I want to create content on this type of stuff. I would love to talk to Lacey Evans and get to know her and her goals outside of WWE and what she aspires to do. But it would be great to know exactly how her WWE run went because, she experienced NXT, she experienced main roster, she experienced the Triple H era, she experienced the Vince McMahon stuff. She's kind of seen a lot of WWE, and I'm very curious to hear what her thoughts are because there is a lot that is being said about this that is very unclear. But Lacey Evans is a hell of a talent. I do think a lot of people don't give her the credit she deserves. I think she is great on the mic. She understands the character aspect of things. Something didn't work out, and it's very interesting. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you shocked by this? Will we see more departures? I don't know, but it's going to be a very interesting time going forward, especially with the Endeavor deal closing up very soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below.